Evening, guys. Okay, I'm back much later than I was hoping today. I have a nice to be back on front of the camera again with some of my favourite things, my beautiful chainsaws, and I was hoping to get back sooner because I wanted to run a few of the bigger engines which I've promised to show several people, but it's getting late, so might just be enough time tonight to show hopefully a really interesting head-to-head. So the last batch of saws, there's so many large engines, I've just started to pull out lots of the smaller engines. All the small saws are going to have to go just to make room for the bigger ones, and so some that I really don't particularly wish to get rid of, but just space is a premium. So I'm going to show an interesting head-to-head tonight against two saws which quite similar spec and be really interesting as well. So first I'm going to run is one of the Husky 41s. I sold my 36s recently in my 136, running a 38-32. So the Husky 41s are interesting. They run just a 2mm bigger piston, take them to a 40mm piston, 32mm stroke, and push their horsepower up from 2.2 to 2.5. When did they stop these? I'm sure they stopped these in 97, and this girl is 1997, so the very last production run then, presumably, for the 41. So really nice saw. Actually, so this girl's running just one, again, hung on display. Brand new 12-inch bar, only cut with once. Brand new 3/8 low profile Oregon chain, and I think this is a perfect combination for this saw. And the other thing which is slightly unusual on this saw I put on is lots of these saws in my opinion are overbarred when they're running 16s or 18s. Even if they say they run them well on paper, I think they don't seem to perform too well to me. But I found that if you fit these with a 6-inch clutch drum, as opposed to a 6-tooth clutch drum as opposed to a 7-tooth, go slightly smaller on the bar, these are just amazing things to run. So we're going to run this girl, and then we're going to run her against a 2007 Stihl MS 180. Now, and the reason I'm interested to run them back to back is this girl's fitted with a nearly new Oregon 12-inch bar, same chain profile, 3/8 low profile. Interesting, these run the same piston size as the Husky 36s, so they're a 38mm piston but a much shorter stroke, 28mm on the stroke, giving it 32 cc's, just under 31.8 I think they are. So on paper 2 horsepower, 2.5 horsepower. Of course, Stihl have got an amazing reputation, small garden saw, so I thought it'd be a really interesting head-to-head. These are unusual insofar that you have no high and low needle settings on this particular version. They're just, the carburetor's pre-jetted and set. This was just been hung on the shelf, and so this girl's going to be going up for sale. I mean, not sure whether not to put her up for sale for spares or repair or just as a used saw, and I say that only for the one thing I don't like about the 170s and the 180s. The 170 has got that's a 37mm piston, isn't it? 37/28, yeah, and these are 38/28. Is I don't like some of these all-in-one choke levers. I find they're just a little bit temperamental on some of the smaller saws, and I've noticed this girl is, let's see what she's like tonight. Okay, so I found these kill switches sometimes be temperamental, and that's because the all-in-one control arm, which sits between two plastic C-shaped holders, which when you rotate the lever around to a certain position it has a flatten, lets it just kind of slot out. Over time they wear slightly and then it becomes less positive, but it's one of the only things I don't like about this particular saw, in fact, is that feature. Beautiful little powerful garden saw. So okay, we're going to run it head to head. I've got some, I'll take a few discs first because I just don't use them. We'll run through a little pass. If you're going through a wood part in your garden, these just amazing saws to pick up, aren't they? Look at them. What are they, 4.5 kilos? Just fantastic. And then we'll go through a piece of ash, full bar width, and see what the performance difference is between the two. That'll be a lot of fun. Let's take a few discs with the Stihl, move on to the Husky, and then we'll do a head-to-head. My feeling is, even though the Husky is 10 years older, I think the Husky is going to have the legs on the Stihl. I know it's a few more cc's, obviously. But with that bar and sprocket combination, I think it's just, it belies its size, in fact. Okay. So beautiful, just beautiful garden saws. They just are. I know a load of tree surgeons use them as well for small limbing work. So manageable. Right, let's see how the Husky cuts. Okay. Much prefer the choke arrangement, all-in-one choke throttle lock on this version of Husky over the Stihl. I just think it's so much more robust. So much more robust. That's a bit shocking back-to-back power. The Husky, I wonder how clear that is on the, so that's on 4.5, maybe 1/6 inch piece of wood. So much more power on the slightly bigger, it's only 2 mil bigger on the piston, that extra stroke in the engine, just, yeah, surprising. Right, we'll take a couple of discs, perhaps we'll do 2 discs each and see how they compare. My feeling is the Husky is going to be nearly twice as fast on the basis of that, but who knows? We'll start with the Husky. Okay. so well. So that's 10-inch ash, just impeccable running. Well, it's be really interesting. Let's put the 180 through the same wood. Well, yeah, really interesting actually. There's a few observations I'd make from that. Beautiful marbling through this ash. Interesting, isn't it? These carburetors with fixed jets. So this is running then on Aspen today, premix. In fact, they both are running on Aspen. Aspen premix, and impeccable, isn't it? Just impeccable throttling, absolutely impeccable running. Just felt as though, yeah, it'd be interesting to play that back time-wise. I'm going to take one more disc with each just to see if it becomes clearer. I'm sure the Husky is quicker, but you can see why these are a huge favourite for a load of people. Incredibly frugal running, great having the visibility for the oil tank and the fuel tank, really simple to work on, simple to fix, low cost chains, well, for both of them, just amazing really to run these types of saws in, just the type of wood you can cut with them. Yep, let's take one more with each. Okay, I'm going to try and count more accurately. I'll start with the Stihl, but I really don't like these switches. Impeccable running with this size bar. Even when the bar's fully buried, you can see the engine's not to the point of loading where it's slowing it down too much. Just amazing running. Okay, let's go again with the Husky. Well, counting in my head, I made the Husky around 3 seconds quicker. So on, actually that's probably about right then. So there's the difference between 40cc, 2.5 horsepower, 12-inch bar, 32cc, 2 horsepower, 12-inch bar. Still both fantastic working through this type of wood pile. Just amazing. But Husky just has the legs. Surprising for only a tiny weight overhead as well. Yeah, two beautiful garden saws. Absolutely beautiful. So both of these going up for sale, making space for some other girls. And yeah, it's too late. I was going to run the C51. We've got some big wood. God willing, we've got some big wood arriving 1 to 2 weeks. Some up to 26 to 30 inches across the butt. So something which we can really enjoy sinking in some of the bigger engines into, rather than, you know, putting them through meaningless wood for their capacity. Right, guys, stay safe. Hope that was an interesting head-to-head. Love to hear any comments of how many people struggle with these switches on the back of the 180s and the 170s. So I know she's cutting off there now and it seems fine, but I noticed it earlier on today. I was moving the switch up and it just wasn't catching it. Yeah, there you go. There we go, temperamental just then. Clicking up and just perhaps going back because it carries the little copper contact at the end of the wire up to the earthing point. Yep, I'm not a big fan of that design, but so if anybody buys this one, bear in mind she's a tiny bit of play on the kill switch. Okay, but nonetheless, beautiful saws. Stay safe, guys. Bye for now.